Legacy. The legacy is where you have the clarity to know it's not just about what you do. It's the revelation of I'm not just a son, I'm also a father. I'm not just a father, I'm also a grandfather. It's generationally. It's looking 1,000 years into the future and asking the question, who's gonna reach your kids' kids?
Hey guys, we're gonna do a legacy offering. All the money in this offering is gonna go to expand the mission and vision of Limitless Church. That is when this whole possibility of what we're in now started. We didn't have any leads. We weren't looking at a specific building. God just said, prepare the way.
I've had to try again this week with some things. I had prayed for something and then I found myself pacing back and forth.
We had taken up an offering, we had saved money, we were continuing to save money, and we were more ready than ever to buy a building, but nothing was coming.
It didn't happen, God. You said you were gonna give us a building. You said you were gonna give us a private school where we were gonna reach the kids in our community in a profound way.
I walked through more buildings than I can count trying to find a space for us to call our home. And in July, I got pretty disappointed that it hadn't happened yet.
I need you to just turn around for a minute. And I need you to see everything that I've brought you through.
God, are you gonna do this? Are you really gonna do it?
And when I started to look at everything that He's brought us through to get to this moment, the future looked a whole lot easier.
And at that time, He put somebody on my mind, Pastor Dan Hunter from Houston, Texas. So I called Pastor Dan and he said, that building that you're talking about, have you knocked on the door? I explained it was like way out of our price range, and he said, have you knocked on their door? And I remember thinking, well, no, I haven't actually. And I got off that phone call and I drove right up to that church and I knocked on the door. I presented the vision and mission of our church to their board, went ahead and put in an offer for the building. It was a little bit less than they were anticipating. God, we're preparing for Legacy 2024, and I know you're gonna do something amazing.
I think if we understood what God did for us eternally, it would completely shift what we think He could do in the future.
And as I was writing a sermon for the following week, God said, that's not the sermon you're supposed to write.
It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about what God can do through us.
He gave me this phrase. You guys heard me preach on it last week. Get gritty, trying again. And immediately when I was writing that sermon, this property came back to my mind. Picked up the phone, I called my realtor and I said, hey, let's send another offer to that church. And he's like, well, how much? I said, the same amount. Send it again. We countered back and forth for the next couple of days. I preached to you on Sunday that message. And then the beginning of the week, I got a phone call. Hey, we're gonna accept your offer. And so it's with great anticipation and excitement that I tell you we're officially under contract on our first permanent building. I am so excited, and I know that you are too. Now here's where you come in. We are asking that you would consider partnering with us to raise $150,000 by December 8th, 2024. Over the next couple weeks, you're gonna have an option to give to Legacy. And Legacy is the fund that we have set up to help us do things just like this. So if you would consider donating over the next couple weeks, we would be so honored that you would partner with us to see Limitless Church get its first permanent building. I believe it's not only possible, I believe God's gonna do it. You know, after all, our vision for Limitless Church is there is more. And we believe God's gonna do amazing things because we believe there's more for you, more for your family, and more for our community. There is more.
Legacy works through generosity. It's looking 1,000 years into the future and asking the question, who's gonna reach your kids' kids?